safety, as mentioned by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. It says it's our duty to ensure workplace safety for workers. Speaker Abbas. And now, speaking at the event to mark the World Safety Day for 2025, Right Honorable Abbas expressed concern about the lack of comprehensive records of workplace accidents in the country. What, in your opinion, sir, is Nigeria supposed to do as far as safety at the workplace is concerned that we have not done?
Yes, thank you very much. Debo, good morning also. And good morning. I think it's something that nobody should tell you it. When accidents will occur, one will not know. So if the speaker is calling for a policy, I think it is important that something is done. All over work places, I am not sure that enough is being done to kind of ensure that when accidents occur, that there is a, a plan in place to ensure that whoever is involved is or those that may be involved, because it may not be a single person. That when such a thing occur, how do we react to it? For instance, how many of our workplaces can boast of ambulances, can boast of even having first aid equipment to give the first palliative kind of. So I think it is important that we also look in that direction and have a holistic approach to addressing that issue. And I think the speaker is saying something that the Nigerians look should commend him for, because when you look at all our establishments, I don't want to mention anyone, but I know that when we go all over, I'm not sure that the management or the board, as the case may be, will have been looking in that direction. I am not sure. Well, we may not know, but beyond that, it's important that we start to address it. It's important because accident is a natural occurrence. It will happen. It's like going on a journey and accident occur. At times there are no first aiders, uh, except maybe these days when on the third mainland bridge, for instance, where we have this first aider, what have you. Is it so? Let us leave that. In our various workplaces, that we look at that too. Management of each of these organizations should embrace or should come up with policies. Then there should be those that will be specially trained to be on the standby, so that once it happens, they can quickly go there, rescue those that are involved, give the first aid. This will be embedded in the policy that will be put in place. Then whatever they can do in the interim, we know that the next will be let's take them to the hospital, and in so doing, a lot of these workers who may be unfortunately involved in that kind of a thing will be rescued. But you find that in several instances, the reverse case. I have heard of stories, especially in factories, private owned companies. And what is more worrying, all said and done, if such a person survives, maybe an arm has been cut and all of that, then you look also at the compensation. What is the compensation that is given? And this is a person that even after the accident may not be useful to himself again, just of being useful to the society. So it is important that a policy of that nature should be in place, and all efforts should be geared towards ensuring that it's not only in place, it is also effective or implemented.
Now, quickly, let us go to the federal level still, this of the morning. This next story is from The Punch with the headline Tinubu redeploys permanent secretaries in petroleum, information, and other ministries. President Bola Tinubu has approved the redeployment of four federal permanent secretaries as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen the operations of the federal civil service and enhance service delivery. A statement on Tuesday by the Director of Information and Public Relations, Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Enno Olutu, explains that the move aligns with President Bola Tinubu's reforms agenda and is aimed at boosting operational efficiency and innovation across ministries. In terms of the deployment of a particular staff from one area to the other, do you think it will enhance operational efficiency or the right thing to be done? Do you think it is one of the two?
Well, it depends on the way we are looking at it. Then it depends on what the president is looking at and what is the yardstick. What has been the looking at those that were moved. How have they been faring in terms of efficiency and all of that? Redeployment is a normal thing in the civil service or even in any organization. So, and we also do not know to what when those that were moved go to that position. In any case, a permanent secretary is at the core, the technical people. Well, there are some ministries that you really need. Those are core professionals. Like talking in terms of when you look at the Ministry of Health, for instance, you expect that whoever is going to be there will be a doctor, who will understand the
Doctor.
language, a medical doctor. Yes, will understand the language. Maybe when you have petroleum and all of that. But the president must have sat down, he must have looked at their performance, and maybe he was sufficiently convinced that they should be moved to. The president knows what he is looking for, and I'm sure in doing that, there must have been a kind of interaction with the head of service, who is the head of even the PS. He must have interacted with the permanent secretary, I mean, with the head of service, and they must have created the basis and agreed that yes, really, these people should go. I mean, the fact that they are called permanent secretary does not mean that the position they hold, I mean, the offices or the ministries where they are is where they will be permanently. They can be moved anywhere at any point in time. So it's if the president is saying it's part of efforts to promote service delivery and efficiency, he must have seen that there is a need for that movement. Yes.
Uncle Jetu, Agba.
Morning flight, 90.5 FM OGBC. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. Earlier this morning, we had this review from, the newspaper. And there we're talking about what the Ministry of Interior has been doing with Olubomi Tunji at the Home Affairs there. You know, right now they're talking about a centralized verification system where all the verification that needed to be done for anybody traveling will be done at just one spot. And I was telling Tokwe that even the man is doing so well, but he has made so many promises, one of which I'm really waiting for it to happen. And that is after my application and capturing
Fiscal
then I'll
campaign.
just sit back in my home and when somebody will knock on my door and say I'm from the Ministry of Interior or from the
Or from the
Immigration
Nigerian
Service and this is your passport and all that. So from your assessment of that ministry and everything they've been doing, the initiatives and everything, what can you say?
Well, talking about your waiting, I think it's a long dream, and you may have to wait for quite a very long period of time.
Just like you know where waiting for Godot.
Yes. See, well, the man came with a lot of enthusiasm. He came with a lot of ideas, and vintage our politicians, when they are appointed, they want to shake the table. They want us to know that they have what it takes. Yes, when the new sheriff arrives in town, they want to make some impact and all of that. But along the line, midway, they get stopped. What is responsible for that? All of us, I mean, the reasons may not be too far-fetched. The is key. And civil servant is there, and what I want to be very very cautious in terms of the language that I'm going to use. But when you go around our offices, when you go around our ministries, agencies, and all of that, you discover that most of these policies are being frustrated by those that are expected to implement them. There may be good ideas, there may be good blueprint, and you see, if that kind of is allowed, or it operates in the normal way that it should operate. When you are having a centralized verification and all of that, I don't want to believe that it is difficult. It is difficult. It will be difficult to the extent to which we have the will to implement such things. After all, yes, if you go to the federal road safety now, you want to have your license. There is that verification exercise that is done. Gone were the days when you have, I think the incidence is coming down, where you be issued a driver's license, and when you are accosted to show your driver's license, you are told
It's not
to
on the
your
database.
yes that it's not on the database. Then you are short. You have been swindled. Those who gave you,
Who issued
who issued it in the first instance, who assisted in doing it, those that are working there are falling victim once. But if this is allowed to hold the way it should operate, after all, in other climes, that is what they do. In other climes, you don't have to rush, you don't have to go and queue to get these things. You go to the database, you go to the, it's a technological driven world now, and Nigeria should not be left out, Debo. But you see, when you look at those promises and you find that along the line those promises are not kept, then you may not necessarily want to blame the man who made those promises in the first instance, because he is not in several instances, in almost all the cases, he is not the one that is going to make them work. He's going to use people and all of that. And the dangerous thing about it is that when there is service failure and you want to deal with such people, it happens everywhere in all organizations. You find a lot of interest rising up, and then a lot of ugly things will be, and some stupid comments. The situation in the country now. If you send him packing, what do you want him to eat with his family? How does he take care of his family and all of that? But whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So that's why I'm aligning with your feeling, with your thinking that yes, it's not only for the minister to come out and say, I want to do this, I want to do that. There have been a lot of several promises that he has made in the recent of it. But let's continue to pray that Nigeria, you see, all this thing is attitudinal. Except we decide to change our attitude and believe that Nigeria is our country that must get out of this doldrum. When I was coming, I came with my son and a few picked along the line. We got into uh, the new bridge, so to say. You find them there as usual. You find them there. We were wondering what could have led to hold up that this early morning, and my son was with me, and but by the time we got there, he said, "Oh,
Oh,
it's okay." And you ask yourself, why were they there? Why were they asking us to even stop, even in the middle of on the bridge?
bridge.
They were there doing what they are normally known for. Now, if the IGP says, or the head of any organization says that being success, don't go to do this and all of that. For heaven's sake, the man will not come from Abuja to see to all this.
Definitely.
So that is the except we change our attitude. We have beautiful policies, beautiful blueprints being on the paper, but the implementation
It's far from it.
will be far from it. That is what I think the problem that we are having. The policies are there.
Okay, now the name CAC, it rings the bell, but it depends on your definition because
Well,
some
it
will
could
ordinarily
be
say it's Christ Apostolic
Police
Church.
church
But this time around,
or
we're
the
going to
corporate affairs commission.
So
Yes.
this morning, CAC cracks down on unregistered businesses, says it is criminal offense. And this is according to the nation. The Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, has declared that operating a business in Nigeria without proper registration under the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, is a criminal offense. According to a statement by the CAC management, Section 863 of the Act prohibits conducting business as a company, limited liability partnership, limited partnership, or under any business name without registration or using a name or acronym other than that registered. Now, talking about CAC cracking down on unregistered businesses, what's your take on this?
Well, I also I heard it. I listened to what the authorities said, and I was wondering why it was coming at this point in time. I think that's a fallout of the CBEX of 18 and all of that. Well, where has the CAC been since all these days? There are a lot of businesses out there, and there are no efforts. You see, apart from the fact that this will help to streamline and will help to put, will also assist us in having a database of all the businesses and companies that we have. It's also going to be act as a check on anything that is illegal that is conducted in the guise of business or businesses. The law or the act or whatever has always been there. But you see, we are a people that just when something happens, we quickly jump up to react to it. After a while, the whole thing will just die down, and you don't hear anything about it again. CAC has done well to the extent that even in Abeokuta here, you could have several places where you have agencies. I mean, people, especially the accountants, the professional ones. Most of them are doing this registration and all of that. So it shouldn't be difficult for anyone who uh, has a business interest or who wants to set up one to do that. Again, it boils down. How are we? Uh, how to what extent are we checking? To what extent are we checking that these things that has to be done are being done and they are done the normal way? It's okay. The laws are there. So if anyone goes against any of those, yes, I think the law should take its course.
Yesterday there was a news, an interesting news. It's like that is always known as the big brother on the African continent, playing the big brother role. Nigeria was said to have sent 35 medical professionals, including doctors and nurses, to Tanzania, because of the educational and professional gap in that country. All right, that was yesterday. And today in the newspapers, the Vanguard wrote on Kwara government lamenting inability to recruit medical doctors. Let me go through that before we take the message. Kwara
Okay.
State government has expressed serious concern over its inability to recruit medical doctors to effectively attend to thousands of patients across government hospitals in the 16 local governments in that state, despite attractive salaries and allowances. Okay, the Executive Secretary, Hospital Management Board, Abdulrahim Abdulmalik, said this on Tuesday. If I even said it yesterday at the quarterly ministerial news, and that yesterday was the same day that news broke that Nigeria sent 35 professionals to Zanzibar in Tanzania. So how do we reconcile this? We'll come back. Stay with us. Implementing ability to recruit medical doctors.
Nigeria, somebody will say Nigeria jaga jaga. Oh, we are not having enough, Debo. Yet, we are playing the big brother. And going by what you read, uh, in spite of very juicy and beautiful offers, the Kwara State government still cannot recruit medical doctors. The first question we ask ourselves here is that how many do we have a data to actually pin it down that this is the number of doctors that we have in the country? That is one. Two, how long does it take to train one medical doctor, and what is the cost of doing that? It's a specialized area. It's an area that you don't venture into if you are not uh, good up there. And to now say that we are dashing out when we don't have enough, because I don't believe that we have enough. And if we have enough, the government is not recruiting enough to be able to take care of our our people. You go to a lot of hospitals, you find the deaths of the medical doctors and other health personnel. So if we are not having enough, if you are not training enough, if you are not taking care of them in the, I mean, good enough, we are not going to be able to attract their services. There will be those that there was a time that government made attempts to scuttle they are traveling out to outside the country and all of that, say that when you finish, you are going to sign a bond that you are going to serve for a specific period of time before you are able to travel out, even including nurses. And I think there was a public outcry that actually put a nail on that. So I think it is a right decision that we are dashing out those things that whose demands are in a very top form, and whose supply is very low. It is not the best. So what is going to be the fate of the people over there? 16 local governments. Then you go to areas where you have if you go to the north, where you have about 35-40 local governments and all of that. I think there was a time a state in the north was even seeking out outside the region to recruit doctors from the southwest here. Then I asked myself, how many of our people will want to go down there, no matter what the conditions, how attractive they could be? You have to think of a lot of things. You have to think about the safety. That's the first thing, your safety and all of that. I think the government needs to sit down, taking some of these decisions, and look at the implications on our people before we play. We are playing a good brother outside. We are a good brother at home.
Okay.
It's funny.
Let's open the lines for the listener to also be part. Then let's open the lines now. 0803 437 9453 and 0815 032 0226. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen of the press.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
I am happy all of you in the cubicle there are pressmen.
Including Bayo, sir.
Pardon?
I said including Bayo.
Of course, yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you just planning to know that in the bid to showcase big brotherhood, Nigeria has always been giving out food to people outside the country, while majority of Nigerians are dying of hunger? Are you just planning to know that?
No, sir, but
It's
a paradox. It's a paradox.
It's a paradox, no
Yes,
doubt
sir.
about that.
It's a paradox.
But it should do, because it's always been our nature in this country, and it is a very bad nature.
But should it continue, sir?
Well, nobody would wish it to continue, because it will not help us.
It's not helping us, sir. It's not helping us at all.
And it cannot help us at all. So I think what we should try to develop now is to first of all take care of our homes.
The needs of our people.
Yes, the needs of our people, satisfy our people, make sure we care for them before playing big brother.
Big brother.
It's so sad. It is so sad.
Very sad.
Go around all the state hospitals in Nigeria, where you are to have 30 doctors, you will find two.
Yes, it's true.
And that is why many people,
Because the doctors are stretched
because they don't have the attention that
they should have, and on time.
It's so sad. I don't know when we will change this attitude. I don't know. I think it should start from you there.
Yes, we have also stressed it, sir, that it starts from all of us. Now, except we agree this country to be better, then it really cannot.
Yes. Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Much.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Elder wish any formula, thank you very sincerely. 0803 437 9453 and 0815 032 0226. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I like Temitope.
Welcome.
I'm
You're welcome, sir.
My dear brother, we will continue to lament in all sectors. In this country, we are on a wrong structure. We have been saying so. We are on a wrong structure. When the federal government is talking, even apart from the giving doctor out, he said they want to add more to the primary local what's called health centers. The one since 2011 in Olomole here.
I was going to mention it, sir. I said I was going to mention it because I also live in Olomore.
That's why I say, my brother, if you are not living in Olomole, he has been there since 2011 because the community continues to give problem to do it, maintaining it, clearing it every time, but not yet, is not taken care of, and they are complaining they want to do another one, and this Abeokuta North local government is number one local government in the federal that you are doing the project is not working since 2011, and you are now doing it. So when the chairman of the local government, the last chairman, came there, he said we are going to get the fund and the what's so called the personnel to manage this speed, to
The
manage
fund
this,
and the personnel.
the fund and the personnel to manage.
Yes, we are dashing out, sir. Alaji, we are dashing out.
So what are you dashing out? When the problems are the home are not solved. Why are you dashing out? Why are you living big when you are not big? Why? Why are you living big when you are not big? From here, if anybody from Olomoni want to get any something, you will go to like Ijayi. Look at how many kilometers. How many kilometers? You go to Ijayi. So that is what I'm saying.
And when you get to Alaji, when you get to Ijayi, do you have the doctors?
Please, don't pray. Any of your family.
Thank you.
Don't pray for emergency.
Thank you very much.
We don't pray for it.
Thank you, sir.
Alaji really got emotional. Let me shock you. In my community, we put up a building, put up a structure to have a health center. And I know we have done that over 6-7 years ago. We even bought some beds and all of that. The thing is just there. We have just converted now to use another thing. There are no personnel.
I hope it's not to bake bread.
Bake bread. No. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, Debo, do you remember from my song, natural system growing in the air? Many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people
All the time, no.
We are taking out food out to people, and we are not in the air. I'm not fooling ourselves. And we are acting criminal. It's a repentant something. Now people are dying in the camp. They are lacking shelter. So what are we done to be in the first thing? Foolishness. That's that. NNPC with my role and everything is down and it's not my bad to happen. But I hope those changes will bring positive things to NNPC. I hope it will add value back to Nigerians. Especially like how we are doing things. We are collaborating with the foreign, we are looking for foreign investors, we are doing that. And at the end of the day, if you bring a brunt on our body, it will on our hand.
Okay.
Look at the quantum issue we are talking about. We better agreement with all this. And then what happened at the end of the day? Now to PK Airline is coming. Oil is coming. So what will be the impact of it?
Thank you so much.
Think twice.
Thank you, Demola.
One thing at the back of my mind. We'll tell the judge each and every one of us for every action we take.
Sure.
More against Nigeria and Ogun State. God bless Nigeria.
God bless you
God
too.
bless you too.
Bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Demola.
Quickly let us go to this human angle story this morning. Sometimes it takes two to
To
tango.
tango, yes.
That is what they say. On this side, police arrest couple over car theft in FCT. The Federal Capital Territory FCT commander of the Nigeria Police Force has announced the arrest of a husband and wife in connection with vehicle theft. According to a statement by the command's spokesperson, Superintendent of Police Josephine Hade in Abuja on Tuesday, the wife confessed to purchasing master keys from an online marketplace for her husband to use in committing the crimes. He said it takes two to tango. The wife ordered for the master keys for the husband to use to commit crime.
A wife is expected or is supposed not only to love her husband, is also to support
and inspire the husband.
and inspire. So we can say that that's our own way of expressing family support. You see, weird things, terrible things, funny things are happening. Well, whatever the motive behind that may be, it's not something that should be encouraged in any way. Then you ask yourself, when these ones begin to have to bear children, what kind of training will the couple give to their children? We don't know if they have children, but if they have, or if the unborn children are still coming, well, it's one of those things like Babo will say, nothing really appears new any longer. But for a couple to have, agreed to have come together, agreed to the wife was even the one that took the lead this time around. She went purchased master keys. So you can imagine that it's supposed to if she says she purchased master keys, maybe that means that it's been turned into a real business.
Yes.
Let's steal as many as we can, sell them out, then we take care of ourselves. We are inflicting injury, pains on other people's whatever, in order for you to enjoy life. That is what we have in Nigeria today. And I don't know, when you look at it, when you dig deep, you find that it is possible that both the husband and wife are jobless. But that doesn't mean that they should get into such a terrible thing. What is not good is not good. What is bad is bad. And for me, I condemn the act. And when the wife came with such an idea, what was the thinking of the husband? Can't he sit his wife down to say, let's look for some other better ways to get out of whatever challenges we may be facing? So they've been arrested, let them face the music. Period.
Okay, like we mentioned, there are quite a number of interesting stories this morning, but of course our time is fast spent already. We do hope we'll be able to, we've been able to impress you this morning and probably give you the information that you need to kind of get you through your day. Someone said, whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. But whatever is not worth doing at all is not worth doing at all. But if you're a wife, be a good wife.
Yes. And if you're a husband, don't you have to weigh whatever your wife brings to you to do.
Women have a way of inspiring their men to achieve anything.
But men should have a way of deciphering to determine between the good and the bad. Yes.
Okay, as we wrap it this morning, let's look at this NDLEA story talking about fighting drug abuse, trafficking, and collective effort. It's just a way of reminding ourselves about the evil in drug abuse and trafficking and collective effort. We don't have time to dwell on it much, but just listen. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says the fight against drug abuse and trafficking is a collective effort that requires the involvement of communities, organizations, and governments. And I think that is one message we should depart with this morning.
It's important that there should be that cooperation, there should be that synergy. But in doing it, again, also, we have to be very, very careful, because when you give out information, and the issue of giving out information is something that you have to weigh very, very well. All these are law enforcement uh, agents and the agencies. The agents in particular are not really to be trusted, so that you are not let out. You are not, your identity is not it's not compromised, and once that happens, then you are in for it. But there should be a synergy between the community, the people, and even even the immigration, because the traffic distance, how able to get through. So let's pray for a better Nigeria. Let's pray for an attitudinal change. And once that happens, I think Nigeria has all the resources any nation can hope to have to make better living.
Yes, we
We
have
will
to
get
go.
there.
We have to go now. Bayo Ogundimu, thank you very sincerely for coming around again today.
And thank you too for having me.
Elizabeth Kuforiji, Tonyo Yelomade from the newsroom, Francis Ariel Show, the ICT man, Adetope Adebo, the Samco, and a production of Kemi Shofolawe Chiko. Thank you very sincerely.
The way you just sounded, maybe I was looking at is it Sam Cook or the sound manager?
You know, that man is
or maybe for short, SM.
SM.
Okay, now.
I know SM in those days.
Yes, exactly. SM.
Sweet mentor.
I don't know, I hope you know Sweet Mentor. Okay. I'm Debo. Adeyinka. Have a nice morning.
My name is Temitope. Babalola. Please do have a beautiful midweek. We know what I appreciate you.
Thank you.